got it. If you go higher than a 6, we're done.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Before we start today's episode, just want to give a little thank you to everyone who joined in for the RRR video and stream. We hope you enjoyed. It's been a blast, and we had a lot of fun commenting and talking to you guys, so please feel free to leave all your comments. We promise we respond to all of them, so leave your review of the movie of this episode. Also, we'll be doing more Indian cinema, a lot of it hopefully soon, so stay tuned for all of that. And just wanted to mention that we hope no terms or anything was offensive to an Indian audience. If you guys notice anything that just sounds not correct, let us know in the comments, because sometimes we are not aware of the cultural differences. So just make sure to let us know if anything isn't right, and we will make sure to correct it for future episodes. And once again, leave your comments, leave your reviews. We will make sure to reply and have conversations with everyone. So, Luca, if you want to start us off here.
All right. Well, welcome to episode 28. We are hot off the press. We are riding the train straight into India with the highest grossing film that we have been told is the highest grossing film, Bahubali, the first installment, which is the beginning. And yeah, this was pretty exciting to watch. So
yeah, and I think the second one, the conclusion, is the highest grossing. I thought I looked it up before we started, but yeah, I think they're both, at least one of them is the highest grossing. So, I think the first one's way up there as well.
They might both be the highest grossing.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So, Cody, I know you have your stuff laid out.
I do.
I would like you to.
Yeah.
I like that you do that because it makes it easier for me, and I could just bounce off your discussion there. So.
Yeah. Well, I have plot points, and then I have special moments. Which would you like to cover first?
Oh, okay. So just quick back on the highest grossing discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Dangal is tied with Bahubali 2, the conclusion.
Okay.
And Triple R is fourth.
Okay. So, yes,
So,
someone definitely said that. Someone in the comments definitely said last episode that it's number 4. What was the other one that was tied with Bahubali, the conclusion?
Dangal.
Okay, so I guess I will add that to our list. Remember that. We'll definitely...
Actually, that movie is in collaboration with Walt Disney India.
Oh.
Which is interesting. And grossed $311 million, and Bahubali 2 grossed $278, and the one that we're reviewing today grossed $101 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I do have some interesting moments here. I think something I got to mention right off the bat is, once again, just like RRR, love the music. Love the music and the songs and the dancing. There was one dance in particular. It was when you see Bahubali, the main character Bahubali, his father Bahubali, you see him and his brother infiltrating a place, and he causes a distraction so his brother can find the traitor. And the dance sequence that goes off there was, once again, incredible. The Indian cinema, from what we have seen so far, has incredible music. I mean, I don't know about you, but I have the RRR music on my phone, and I've listened to it a few times now. It's been really addicting. So yeah, definitely wanted to mention that. The scenery as well. That's something I want to mention.
The scenery?
But yeah, did you have a thought on the music?
So, well, I just want. Do you want to give like a background on what this movie? I know that most of the people that would watch this,
yeah, I don't mind doing that.
Would most likely know, what the movie is about. But for our people in America, they probably have never heard of Bahubali. So I feel like that is something that people would like to know about.
Yeah, we can do that quickly. Well, I don't want to give too much away for people who haven't been here. We will get really heavy into spoilers soon. So, from what you know from the beginning, Bahubali is a baby who has basically been...
His name is Shiva.
Shiva, okay. But they call him Bahubali because I guess that was his father.
Yeah.
So Shiva is a child who unknown to himself, was basically born from a line of royalty, and the kingdom is basically, I don't want to say under siege, but is basically under the wrong rule. And so the story kind of follows Shiva figuring out where he comes from, what he needs to do in his family's legacy. And that's pretty much like the gist of it that I want to give away if you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, that's pretty much the story here. It's very poetic and romantic in a lot of moments. A lot of I'd say this movie is very romantic is the word I want to use.
The main thing though is that he is learning his lineage. We'll get into the whole the whole romance thing. In terms of the way, I'm just gonna, I don't know, we could go into it now, I don't really care, but I have a lot of thoughts, because like when I first watched this and then I did some research afterwards, like just to help understand the movie, the first like go through, I was actually kind of confused when they started going back through the lineage, because you're going back and forth between watching the movie and then reading the subtitles, so I feel like I missed something at some point, or like it just went by and I didn't realize what was happening. When they used the same actor to portray the young, the son, and then they used the same actor to portray the dad, I was like, wait a second. I got lost, because I was like, well, wait, what? Like, how do we get here? And then towards the end, when I forgot the guy that's under my image, what his name is. But he's sort of like the slave that's.
I think he's like warrior. He's like the greatest swordsman, I want to say, of the kingdom, who's like the right hand man, basically.
Right.
Leading the troops.
And he was telling the story, so it was just kind of like that whole part until I got to the end and I realized what was happening. I was like, oh, okay, this it makes sense. The things that I struggled with, and this is just in terms of like, how does he know? So, in the beginning sequence, you see the mom carrying the baby. She goes under the water. She's just holding her son up above the water, and then she floats away. So, like, how did the guys go down there and find her body?
No, I think it was because they had the guy who saved Shiva was on a rope. They couldn't. Once the stream carried her, they couldn't go get her.
No, but so how did she end up being kidnapped if she floated down the stream and they closed off the cave?
What do you mean being kidnapped?
Because she was up in the kingdom, chained.
That's not her. That's the queen.
Isn't the queen his mom?
Yes, the girl that was carrying her wasn't his mom.
It wasn't? I thought it was.
No. That was just, what I'm assuming was a royal servant protecting Shiva.
Okay. I thought I was like, wait, how did the mom end up getting back?
No, she died. She was like drowned. Only her hand was sticking out.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I wasn't too confused by the actor thing, because I've seen it done, and notably Assassin's Creed, I've seen it done before where an ancestor is played by the same actor, but they use makeup to distinguish them. Because the only reason I was confused for like a minute was because I was like, oh, maybe this is a possible future where he wasn't lost and he just became there. But then I realized
what I was thinking
too. But that only lasted for a minute for me, because they showed Bahubali's brother younger, but we always saw him previously older. So I was like, oh, okay, so they're brothers. This is his father and his uncle, basically. So yeah. I understood that just because they were talking about flashback, because the swordsman was saying how like, well, this is what happened to your kingdom, and the mother-in-law had taken. The sister-in-law of the king had taken over once he had died, and the queen died with the birth of Bahubali. So. Yeah, I definitely was confused for a couple minutes, but then I realized it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad.
And then, so the whole thing, let's touch base on that romance side. That person that he was following up the, I guess, cliff, mountain, whatever you want to call it. was not the same person that he ended up meeting.
No, it was a figment of his imagination of like who he pictured behind the mask, like where the mask came from. But also, I think it was like it was the river goddess who they had mentioned early on was like what was up there.
And that's like that whole thing that he carried and like put it under the waterfall. He's like, now it'll just, do 1,000 washings or whatever.
Yeah, he's very smart. I like how he does that. Like he and his father are both like they're quick thinkers. And he came up with a solution to save his foster mom from like struggling with the rituals. That was pretty cool.
Just move it. Just move the whole thing. Why not?
Yeah, why not? And I have actually my favorite line. This is just random. I wanted to say my favorite line in this movie was when Bahubali was with his brother, and they were trying to figure out the best way to infiltrate the traitors' camp. And the brother said, "Swords or smarts?" And Bahubali goes, "Whichever one is sharper." And I like that. I thought that was really cool. There's a lot of cool technology in this movie as well. That's a note I have written down. The spear weapons, the what do you call the armored vehicle and the chariot? There were the chariots with like the spinning blades.
I was going to mention that.
Yeah,
like, the helicopter like blades.
And then Bahubali was smart enough to think, all right, we'll take the tents, we'll drape them in fuel, and then we'll burn them as soon as they land on the enemy troops. There were a lot. The battles in this movie were really cool.
Yeah, I was expecting to see the human cannonball, but I don't.
No, that must be the second one.
The next one.
Yeah, the final. I mean, that would make sense because I imagine from what's going to happen is they're going to infiltrate the kingdom and try and take it back now that the queen is safe.
Yeah,
that's my guess from someone who hasn't seen it. So
the person that is currently there is his uncle.
Yes,
his uncle still looks immaculate. Like that guy.
He's just the gray hair. But what I assume. So major spoilers here from what I assume from the ending, which was where the swordsman admits, like, I killed Bahubali. And I think it was probably because he's a slave and that he was forced by the uncle to commit treason like that. I'm curious to see. I'm really excited to watch the next one. I kind of want to go right into it like today if I could. I
might have to watch it like tomorrow or something, but I could definitely watch it this week.
In terms of the scenery, again, the backdrops, the waterfalls, the cities, everything looked really cool. I love the world building in this. The whole like beautiful, lush beneath the waterfalls from the water, and then you have the desert above where everything's draining from.
That was like I was almost torn between it. That I know at some point it was CG. But how much of that was real?
I don't know. They might have done a lot of, like, just like RRR, where some scenes were, like, CGI after a couple 100 feet, they might have done that, where there's, like, you can't see it, but there's a digital cut.
I almost felt like the actual ground, like, they probably actually went to a place with a river and did that, and then probably did a big blue screen or something and just made the waterfall and all that.
Yeah. Maybe.
CG. The whole sequence of that climb, and I know like everyone was telling us to not base it in reality, but when he was standing right at the edge of that cliff to jump onto that branch.
Oh, that was so cool.
And he was right on the edge of it. Like he should have at least gotten a running start like before jump. He probably would have made it if he just didn't jump straight off the edge and actually got like a little bit of a running start. He would have been all right.
I wasn't thinking about that.
Well, that's just stuff like it's just subconscious.
Dude, when I love how he made the bow from all the twigs and from the vines. He made the bow and arrow to like make that final shot with the grappling hook. Yeah, that was cool. Let's see what else. A lot of
that was a tall, like waterfall.
Yeah, no, it was like a mountain range of waterfalls.
That was mad. Like that was like above the clouds tall.
Yeah. What I thought was a really cool fight sequence in this, which just showed the uncle's power, was when he like demolished the bull. Like the charging bull goes right at him, and he just stops it with his bare hands and like just tilt. And they're like, "Get it!" And he just like tilts it to the side, and it's like it just like stops. Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, this movie was fairly interesting.
Yeah,
and I feel like coming off RRR, it was the same but different. it still had some of the crazy, things that we've seen in
Yeah.
Triple R, where like, big battles, crazy CGI,
They
But
said
it was
that
almost
was
toned back, like Triple R was very like boom, 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 constant action, and then it had sort of that mix in of the friendship and the relationship of everybody, and then this was like you kind of needed that build up, and then you got the gratification, the almost like the pinnacle of the movie was that battle,
Yeah.
and it comes back down.
And that battle was long too. They took their
Yeah.
time. I can't believe how many people were there. And I know it's probably CGI people in the back at a certain point, but the fact that battle was, I want to say, a quarter of the movie, and it was so intense. Like, I was hooked. Like, that whole battle was really cool, and the whole maneuvering they were doing with, like, they called it the trident.
Yeah.
I thought, and that reminded me of, like, the 300, the shield, how they made
Yeah.
that shield barrier. Very, very Sparta.
Yeah.
How's it
I
going,
almost
Biffer?
thought-
Welcome. Good to see you here.
I almost thought it was similar to wasn't there a scene in that where like it was that side panel and they almost did like that running thing? I don't
Well,
know if that
they get in 300, their shields get hit and they're swarms, but then all of a sudden they just like put their feet down and start pushing the crowd away. They didn't
Yeah.
quite do that in this movie. They tried, but they had the like that breaker made out of trees that was just gonna break through the wall. Yeah, so that battle was really cool. A lot of the sword fighting is really good, and Shiva.
yeah,
and
really good stunt work and
I like how
choreography.
Yeah. I like how they do a really good job at showing once again, kind of like, I don't want to relate this too much to RR. They are, like you were saying earlier, like this is very similar in terms of the action. Someone in the comments did mention how this is a subcategory or niche of Indian filmmaking. I want to kind of like relate it to like superhero movies. Not quite. It's more like mystical, but it's definitely like a subcategory that they are both in. I like how, kind of like in RRR, you had the fire and water. Here you have the uncle and Shiva, or the uncle in Baahubali, which have that fiery rage versus pacifism. Baahubali is like,
Yeah.
no, we're going to save people. No, I'm not going to, that was really cool. He's like, I'm not going to sacrifice the animal. I'm going to give some of myself. The animal's
Yeah.
innocent. And I like how you kind of get that with Shiva, where he's even more pacifist. He's, his enemies are using swords, and he's just knocking them out with his bare hands.
Yeah.
Also, his relationship with the woman, I forget her name, but his whole like.
Me too.
I like how she wasn't wearing the mask, but he was like, "No, I want to see you without the mask. I want to see a smile. I want to see the real you." And he kind of like showed her like, you don't have to be this brooding, bloodthirsty warrior. You can just be you.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
That whole thing though, would the movie still be the same if that whole relationship with that lady was not there?
Well, what I'm thinking is that I'm thinking of this as not only a two-parter, but kind of like as the movie itself is, we've only seen half of it, and I think as that group is used to, I'm assuming, infiltrate the kingdom later, that their relationship will be stronger, and I would assume hypothetically, this is my guess, if Shiva was to become king again, or become king, then that she would become his queen, or otherwise they'd be married. But yeah, because I think that wooden mask and finding her was his motivation to get up there in the first place. Then he realized, whoa, there's so much more to this than I realized.
How? Yeah, because I was trying to piece it together. Like, how did this fit into the storyline? Because I guess like if we're thinking about it with the part 2. It's the setup of, she has access to that army. He's helping her with her mission. And that's sort of where we kind of get left off with that. I mean, he goes off to the kingdom and does his thing and infiltrates the kingdom to get his mother.
Yeah, the ending is a huge cliffhanger.
How does he know that that's his mom?
Well, they said that, I'm assuming they told him that the queen was chained up in the middle. Or remember, he infiltrated, so he probably knew, like, well, who else would they have chained in the middle of a giant kingdom by the palace? Is like
But he didn't know that was his.
I think there was a scene where he saw her, or like, but yeah, I'm assuming that. Well, he didn't know it was his mom yet. he didn't realize that till everyone told him later.
Oh, okay. So he was just going up there,
Yeah.
just saved this lady.
No, he promised the girl because he said, you're the love of my life. We're meant to be together. Your burdens are my burdens. And he was like, oh, so
Okay.
yeah,
It's all coming back.
Yeah.
It's tough for me to look at the visuals and then also read it at the same time. But there was no chance that I was watching this movie with an English dub. Especially when it takes away like 38 minutes of footage.
No, because you know why it's easier for me? I think it's because my screen is only a monitor. When I look at the text, my field of vision is still the entire screen, if that makes sense. But yeah,
Well, I'm watching on my TV, so...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is when you look at the text way on the bottom of your TV, your field of vision cuts out a lot of the top part. But he was basically like, yeah, your burdens are my burdens, so you need to free this queen. She must be important, and then I'll free this queen. His like loyalty to, his, I would assume, future wife. So.
Right. Hey, Bifford, did you see this movie?
Yeah.
I want to know if you have any comments on this. Also, hello to the other 5 people watching
welcome.
this. Comment, if you've seen Bahubali, or if you're from India tuning in. I know it's probably late over there right now. Share your thoughts with us as we discuss this movie, because first time we're watching this, so very, very interesting. This is all raw emotions about this movie.
This is raw emotion. There was some... trying to think of some other things that I noticed. This is a really tiny thing that I just really appreciated, was when I'm assuming is like a royal servant trying to save Shiva the baby. She makes this decision to like, all right, my blood prints are on the rocks, so I'm going to backtrack in those prints so they can't tell where I went. I know that's a small detail, but I thought that was really clever. That was good writing. There's amazing writing. I saw this movie. It's great.
The writing of these Indian films has been really easy to follow.
Yeah, you said your favorite characters.
It looks like there might be a Bahubali 3 coming out too. That might be. I mean, I saw a poster for it here.
I'm trying to see. Oh, okay. The main character. He's one of your favorite actors. I see. I was looking at. I thought you said character. Yeah, no. He was awesome in this. His battle face. Let me put a clip in the movie.
Get some photos up. I'm trying to find some right now.
He's the uncle is still here, or who, No, it's not. Yeah, I didn't think Bahubali 3 was a thing, just because
it's not coming.
No, because the second one is called Conclusion. That's why.
Can they just make one just for?
No, I mean, I wonder what it's based on. But anyway, I have some
this
other.
This is just like a teaser, I guess, a poster that just somebody just made, I guess.
What?
I just looked up Bahubali, and people made like posters and stuff.
Oh yeah, there's fan made posters and stuff as well. Another cool scene. You know what freaked me out was when the first moment we actually see the queen's face. I was watching this late at night, and so when she turns her head and you see her face, and she's like, what? She's been captive for 25 years, and she's been stuck in the sun, and they show her eyes. I was looking around behind me. I was like, oh, they did a really good reveal of her face. That was terrifying. And you even see, I got to find his name, the uncle. If someone in chat would like to put the uncle's name, he's actually here on the stream in the bottom right. His character's name I'd like to find. I
just wanted to touch upon the wardrobe so far of, from what we've seen of these Indian films, is that the wardrobe selection and the effort that goes into it is really well done.
And the weapons. Like,
the whole armor.
Katapa, thank you. Thank you very much.
The whole armor of Bahubali, like, that's all legit. Like, over here, we get mostly CG stuff. Spider-Man doesn't even wear a real suit anymore.
I enjoy practical effects a lot.
So seeing all the work go into the uniform, or the wardrobe of the characters. There's a lot of dedication that goes into these films, and like this film had I think it said 1.8 billion. What Indian currency is rupees, right? I'm pretty sure.
I am not aware. I don't want to I'm not sure.
INR, so I gotta convert that.
Yeah, quick thing. I just wanted to thank Rayala. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Let me know if that was correct. Apologies. But thank you for letting us know. He is, Katapa is actually probably my favorite character in this movie. I love his relationship and his loyalty to everyone. I like that scene where we see young Bahubali and he goes to eat with them. And he's like, I can't eat with you. You're royalty and I'm a slave. And he goes, well, if I order you to eat with me, will you eat with me? You know? Mm-hmm. And he shows really good emotion. Like, he's just a really interesting character. So I hope we get to see more of him in the second one.
I don't think we will, because I have a feeling that the second one is going to focus on Shiva and essentially, taking on the role of his father.
Well, yeah, but I assume we will see Katapa help in that effort.
So 1.8 billion rupees is $22.7 million.
For what were you looking at?
That's the budget
for this one.
Yeah,
that's tiny.
Yeah,
I would have. Wow, that's incredible. Like, I'm telling you that we were saying the same thing with RRR, which had an even bigger budget, but it still seems small for what they accomplished. Was like,
and that was 2015.
Wow.
That was 2015 rupee. So we're talking 2022.
Still, the amount that they accomplished with the budgets is incredible.
It really is, and I gotta give credit to those guys because
that's
it's
incredible.
Crazy. That sheet simulation, like going.
I know. I noticed that too.
Like, that was great.
That I noticed it when they were moving the statue. I noticed that the sheet was on it. What else can I say? What other cool moments would I like to mention? Biffer, let us know if there's a favorite moment you'd like to discuss in this movie. Or anyone in the comments, let us know a favorite moment in this movie you'd like to talk about with us, and we'll make sure to talk about it.
A place, I guess, for the new viewers that we have, since we have grown a lot since the review of Triple R. Like, we are very open to conversation and interact with everybody that comes onto the podcast or
definitely
in the chat. So, if you guys have any questions, if you have any favorite moments, share whatever you have with us, because this is why we do the podcast live. I think this is what makes us different. So,
Rayala said, my favorite part of the whole movie was the climax war sequence. Yes, that fight was incredible. I was zoned in the whole time watching their tactics and the fighting on the ground. I want to remember his name. Bahubali's brother, Shiva's uncle. His name is
I got it right here.
Bayaladeva.
Amarendra. Oh yeah.
No, yeah, I'm looking at Balahadeva. And I think in the film they call him just Bala, but his weapon, that mace with the chain on it, and he throws it and it comes back to him.
That looked like a big lollipop.
Rumpel says, my favorite moment is Shiva climbing the mountain using a bow and arrow. Yes, that was sick. I love that as well. He improvised the grappling hook. That was definitely one of those moments where I was like, that was sick. I think for Luca too.
I thought, for me, when it comes to these movies, I feel like my expectation is to have, crazy, action scenes. I just expect the most, outrageous and entertaining things to come out of these films. Like, now my expectation is just, this better be some of the craziest, filmmaking I've seen.
I just expect a lot of fun, I think, with these movies. You know what I mean? They're just fun.
I don't know, when it comes to the next movie reviews, when we start, incorporating some of the stuff that's coming out here, dude, we're going to be, ranking everything low for American films.
I think especially with this budget, even if there was, I think specifically maybe the Bull wasn't up to par, but I think that I still can't believe the amount of effects they did do with that budget and the amount of people involved. It was incredible. Let's see. Any other moments I'd like to mention? I think Bahubali's speech was really cool, and I think the most important moment in that speech that showed his like ferociousness and his capability to be a leader was when he was mid inspiring the troops, he gets hit with an arrow and it just doesn't faze him. He just keeps giving his speech. Yeah. And I think that really inspired everyone.
And then he takes it out and he stabs somebody.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's pretty cool. I like the way, I was talking to my dad about this on the way home or on the way up when we did our little vacation this weekend. That a lot of I don't want to say a lot of the films, but most of the films, between the two films that we've seen, I keep wanting to make it.
Yeah, this is a subgenre.
Like, they use very little dialogue. I'm sure they say less lines in these two movies than we've seen in like a standard American film. I just feel like the dialogue is used less and they're more visual with Indian films, and they tell the story through the visual, because you're kind of seeing the differences between Bala and Bahubali, and that's shown. Like, they show them as kids, where Bahala is like, whoa, like, I got this sword, and then Bahubali is like taking care of it, and he's sort of like respecting it. And same thing with like going and hanging out with Katapa, or saving the people. Like, it shows the differences, whereas like they don't say that explicitly in the script. Like, everything is very visual, and it's told in the story versus being told to you explicitly in the script, which I feel like American filmmaking, like, you gotta tell us explicitly what's going on, or else it just goes right over our heads.
I see you guys' comments. One sec, I just want to say, in terms of that, the way they do that was just really good, and I loved how the relationship between Bahubali and his cousin, apparently, and I'll read those in just a sec. I love the way they, the fire and water, kind of like RRR, where you see that divide between them. Rayala, you said that VFX costs a lot of money, so the practical effects were used more. Yeah, and it's still incredible with the budget that they did both of those things, because still practical effects aren't always cheap with the amount of costumes. It was everything was very detailed. Rumpel, by the way, they're cousins, not brothers. In that in India, cousins are treated as brothers. All right, that was definitely something we missed, so thank you very much. That makes sense, though. I know in a lot of cultures, not so much here, but in a lot of other cultures, family and is taken a lot more seriously in terms of, like, it doesn't matter if you're actually, like, just right, you're brothers. You can be cousins, and it's just as strong as of a bond. Thank you. We try to observe everything and take notes and try to mention all the little details, because that's what I think for me and Luca is what really grabs us, is the little things that they sprinkled in just to grab your attention. I want to say, I just want to say, in terms of you talking about very little dialogue, I think what's interesting is, like you said, it's true. They use a lot of visuals to tell the story, but in that sense, when they do use dialogue, because it's not tons of it, it's so impactful.
I think that's what makes these movies so easy for me to remember. Like, literally, if you told me to go and tell you the let me go back here for a second. If you wanted me to go and explain, like, Looper or Power of the Dog or Dune, like any of the movies that we reviewed in the past, they don't stick with me as well as RRR and this one have. Like, I watched this movie before I went on vacation. I watched this movie last week, and I still have this, like, I can tell you from the beginning to the end everything that happens in this movie with full clarity of everything. Like, the way that they do their movies there are so memorable, and they're so easy for me to remember, whereas, like, stuff here, there's so much that happens that you have to remember, like, in the wording of everything. It just gets too confusing. Ancient Indian epic of Mahabharata.
I believe you're referring to the director of RRR, if I'm not mistaken.
Director. He directed this one too.
Oh, okay. That would explain the similarities in his like, design of the script. Okay, so let us know. I'm sorry, I don't want to, like, mispronounce your name. Okay, Arjano, if that's correct, or Arjun. Let us know. Is that something that's coming out soon? Is he working on right now? I think people mentioned it in the comments previously. But we definitely have, like, I want to show you guys, actually. We have a list of all the movies you have recommended. I have them on my phone. It's hard to see, but yeah, there's a lot of movies you guys have all recommended. I've been writing them all down. I've looked at all of them, and we hope to get to them all, including new ones you guys recommend along the way. But yeah, again, dialogue. This director, I guess, in particular, he uses it very carefully. It's not just throwaway. Like I think like you said, Looper is a perfect example. A lot of films. There's just so much dialogue that just like scenes could just go. It doesn't need to be there.
I think that's like sort of the Marvel thing too.
Oh, his
right?
ultimate project. Okay. Well, yeah. We'll be really excited to see that. I mean, so far we've been loving everything from this director. And I think someone mentioned there is a movie of his coming out soon as next year. Unless he's just working on that dream project for right now. But yeah, man, the dialogue. There's one scene that sticks in my head, and it's just when Katapa is talking to the sword trader, and they duel, and they respect each other because of their fighting skills. And the sword trader's like, well, why don't I free you? And Katapa's like, you can't. It's who I am. It's my duty. And I love how they build that bond. And he's like, and the sword trader is like, well, just so you know, no matter where you are, you have a longtime friend. And they hug it out. And it was like, man, they just built up a character relationship in like a single scene because they were so accurate with the words, you know. They didn't need, you know. Some movies just ramble, you know, explanations. But this movie explains it, like you said. You nailed it perfectly with that, with the visuals. Did you get my
Rambarai?
Let me check. Let me check my list.
Honestly, Biffer, we've literally probably gotten like 25 movie recommendations.
Sorry, like, I'm adding it right now.
Honestly, like it's been a crazy weekend since Triple R has dropped. Like, we are so thankful for it, and I think, you know, we last podcast we were like gonna have our guest on. Still would love to do that. I think we might do the other side of Bahubali. Like, we'll do the conclusion next. And then we'll probably do Minority Report after that, just to have our guest on, and then we'll just probably
hop right back on the train.
Just probably do like a bunch of Indian films.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying, Rumple. It's like they call everyone brother. Yeah, that makes sense. I've seen that before, not just in Indian culture and film, but in also I don't want to say it wrong, but yeah, I know. I definitely understand what you're saying. It definitely makes sense. Let me see if there's any other moments we can quickly mention here. Anything we want to get through?
Then we can hop into the ratings.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do that, because I think we summed up everything really well.
We covered a lot of the big moments.
Yeah. The scale of I don't want to mispronounce it. Bharata is huge. It's the longest poem in the world. He needs to upgrade himself and hone his skills. Okay. No, yeah, I mean, the upgrade from this to RR in terms of production quality is definitely evident, so I can't wait to see, like, when a master director like this has a dream project like that and he's taking his time instead of just pumping it out for, you know, the views. That's awesome.
All right, so I'm looking at
Thank you,
IMDb.
Thank you, Ravi, for that. Yeah, we've been talking about that. I saw your comment before it got deleted, but yes, thank you so much. We have seen it. We've been talking about it a little, and it's definitely something we're going to keep our eyes on. And this director in particular, we're loving. So we're going to go to IMDb here and check out the ratings.
We got a lot of recommendations. So I mean, after the second Bahubali, we will definitely probably check out a different director so we can get a little bit of perspective on things, so we're not just like watching the same guy. But all right, so
did we?
Are you shocked at this
beheading
thing here?
His son. Diva's son. Did we see that scene? Am I missing? Maybe I'm getting the name wrong, but I don't remember the heading.
That could be the current person.
Maybe. But actually, in terms of epic shots, that final shot where he's like, well, who killed Bahubali? And he's like, I did. And you see him put the sword into him, and it's like the final shot of the movie, with not even with a to be continued, you know? That was nuts.
In the whole range shot too, like using his downpour.
Okay. Yeah, there's so many great shots. Better not miss theaters. It's a dream. You know what? I hope we don't miss it in theaters, because I'm sad we missed RRR in theaters, because I've been watching the music videos online, and everyone in the music videos and stuff like that is like, oh, I can't believe I saw this in theaters. There's no other way to see it. I hope I can see RRR in theaters, because apparently it might come back.
Who has it? You know, like that's sort of the.
So it
could be select theaters for the United States.
Yeah, so if it comes back, we're definitely going to be looking at that. In terms of ratings on IMDb here, we have 46.8% out of 10, really high. This curve is
like really interesting how it's at.
Oh, I think I know. Yeah, in the rain.
8.
I think I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, there's a lot of epic shots. Everything shot in the fighting is so cinematic. Yeah, so it seems to be steady around an 8, right?
It's they say it's an 8. The arithmetic mean is 8.4 and the median is 9, which I'm kind of shocked, because 46.8% gave it a 10, and then you have about 47,000. Okay.
I think again, just like RRR for whether it be political or cultural reasons, you have the people doing a 1 star for, I'm assuming, not an actual reason about the movie, which is going to throw up things. Only after he gets killed, realizes that he is Bahubali.
Yeah, so that was the thing that confused me, was the using the similar actor, and then it all made sense afterwards. But yeah, they were like, "Oh." So I wonder if he'll change his. I guess it's a last name, right? It's not his first name. I think it's a last name.
Yep. Wait, which one? What are you talking about?
Like Bahubali is the last name of.
They don't mention. Well, I don't. No, I think it's his first name. I think it's his first name. Yeah, but no, I remember the shot you're talking about. What I love about that shot is when Katapa does that really long run and slide to him. He slides on his knees in front of him, and he looks up at him and he's like, Bahubali. That was so cool. That was like chills. Yeah, am I surprised by IMDb? Oh, wait, you know what? I got a lot of comments here. Let's see. It's a practice to use the same actor to show... Yeah, we've seen that here in there's some United States films that have done that recently. I'm not... It worked. I think it worked really well.
So there's so many different, there's Bollywood, Tollywood. So what's Tollywood?
I think it's from different countries, but Bollywood is, I assume...
Okay, so the main character is Mahendra Bahubali, which is the guy that... Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and they call him... Okay. Shiva was his name when he was down below with his foster family. So...
Yes, it makes sense.
Mollywood. What is... Okay. Interesting. You want to hop into Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, IMDb is a very low...
Yeah.
Not very low, but it's lower than what I would anticipate.
Yeah.
Dude, only 19 critic reviews and 1,000 ratings, and this movie's been out for 7 years.
Yeah, no, I mean, with how big this movie is, I don't understand why there's that little critics rating it. It's weird. Tollywood is from a different region. Oh, okay, so it's different regions. Tollywood, Telugu. Okay, so would that make sense? RRR is from Telugu or originally in Telugu, would that make RR Tollywood? Now, another question I want to ask everyone. This I think you can just answer this one. If you
I'm
guys
gonna
don't
look up
mind.
how to pronounce.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
That's how I
but
got it in my.
I wanted to ask this question for those here who are from India because I was confused about it because someone had said it previously in a video. Are the terms Bollywood, Tollywood, Mollywood, are those considered like offensive, or are those just ways to narrow down what you're watching and that's just like it's just normal common practice? I was curious about that.
That's like. There's a lot of places.
Yeah, that's what we were calling it, was Indian cinema, because we didn't want to say the wrong one. Yeah, that was exactly what we were thinking, was that we didn't want to use the word Tollywood or Bollywood because it made it sound like you were saying, like a cheap copy, which they're not. They're their own thing. Industry from southern part of India is its location. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, actually, Hyderabad, I recognize that because there are a lot of people commenting from there. For some, they are offensive still, are used by many. Usually they prefer it to be called by language, name, industry. Okay, yeah, so we'll stick to calling it... For now, we've just been calling it Indian cinema to make sure not to...
We'll continue to call it Indian cinema.
Yeah, I think it's just the right thing to do, just in case.
It's easier on our pronunciation.
Yeah. But if you want to go ahead and let them know the Rotten Tomatoes here.
Rotten Tomatoes is an 89% fresh on Tomato Meter and an 86% audience score. And
it looks like audience score is what we're going to be going off of because there's not a lot of critics.
I think so.
Bombay,
it's going to be a lot of American people reviewing this, I feel. So people said this movie is on the level of so bad it's actually good.
No.
This was from last year. They're saying it's one of the worst movies they've ever seen. Everything's over the top. The action, the acting, the drama. They clearly don't understand the niche, I guess. I
put some critics ones on there for you guys to see. Yes,
we did watch
RR. The review is actually on our channel right now. We gave it a 9.7. We really enjoyed RRR. That's why we kind of got into this, and people recommended we do Bahubali next.
And we have a ton of other movies too, so there's a lot in the works. We actually might have to. I don't even know what we're gonna do about it, but
yeah, we got a lot in the works. Lots in the works.
Honestly, I could see why this movie was one of the higher, or this,
definitely.
I guess these I want to call it a series, but it's not really a series. It's like sequels or something. I can see why it is the highest one of the highest rated grossing movies. I'm interested in seeing the second one. I feel like
I can't wait to watch the second one.
The first one, I will be honest, I was not blown away. I think Triple R was better. So that goes to say that this movie for me is not going to be in the nines, but I do believe that this movie is still very good.
I think it's setting up what is the highest grossing film. Like, I think it's the finale that's going to blow us away.
It takes that necessary step into creating the backstory and giving you what you need.
Thank you. I wanted to thank Rumpel for putting all the stuff there in the feed about the regions and what they're called. We appreciate it. So what do you? I mean, do you want to go to the rating section, to our rating?
We can go to the intergalactic movie ranking system.
For those of us who are new, well, we're not new, but for those of you who are new to ITM, this is the intergalactic movie rankings. This is every movie we have seen this year so far, including older and newer. It's not just movies that came out this year. And yeah, at the end of the year, we will do our own little award show and talk about them. As you can see, we gave RRR a 9.7. It is in our favorites. That is directly below me. So those are movies, we'd watch over and over and recommend. So yeah, definitely a favorite there. Okay, so yeah, Bahubali 2 is the highest grossing. So yeah, I think that's where we're going to see I'm really excited to watch that. I might watch it tonight.
What are we expecting from it?
What am I expecting? I'm expecting
that human cannonball.
I don't. Is that from that movie? Because now I'm not sure.
I hope so, because I was expecting it in this one and I didn't get it. I mean, the helicopter, sword blade.
That was sick.
Was pretty sick. But I want to see some guys, link up and fly through the air, and I'm hoping I get to see that in the next one.
I know what I'm
just expecting high action, like a lot of battles. Hopefully,
I'm expecting. Well, I am expecting. What I'm assuming is going to happen is a siege of the kingdom. So Baahubali, I guess Junior would put it, is going to unite everyone now that the queen is back and take over the kingdom from, I'm assuming his uncle. And I expect to see the woman, if you guys want to put it in the comments, the woman's name who he builds a relationship. I couldn't find the actress. I expect her and him to...
You couldn't find the actress?
Kind of, yeah. I see if you can find her name. But I expect them to, build on their relationship, and then I'm assuming become king and queen is kind of where I think it's going. I want to see more of... Okay, someone put his name in because I don't want to... Katapa. I want to see more of Katapa because
I don't know her name in the movie, but I found her...
Yeah. A little more drama. Okay.
Nusri, I think it's pronounced.
I want to see more of Katapa, so I hope he isn't... I hope he's there, because he's really cool, and his relationship with, the royalty is really interesting, so I definitely like to see more of him. That's for me. That's what I want.
Okay, so, movie ranking.
Yes.
Interesting you picked this poster, by the way.
Well, it was the only one I could find.
It is a dramatic poster.
It is very dramatic.
The only high-res one that you could find or something.
You can watch Iga. It means housefly. Also directed by the same director, Rajamouli. I don't want to mispronounce it. This came out in 2012. Must watch. You should. Okay, I'm gonna add that to our list right now while Luca gives his review of Bahubali: The Beginning.
So we had an 89% and an 86 from Rotten Tomatoes and an 8 from IMDb. I am sitting at a solid...
I know where I am.
I'm going to say 8.7. This is easy. I don't know why. It just feels easy for me to say this ranking. I feel like it's a solid movie. 8.7. Definitely deserves to be the highest out of the 8s that we've done. Now,
adding it to the list.
I do think that this movie is better than Batman, but for us, Batman is just our thing,
Yeah.
But this movie will definitely be something that I'll be talking about and recommending to people. I think a lot of the Indian films that we see, I will be recommending to people. I've just been thoroughly enjoying them.
I know. I have recommended RRR to so many coworkers today. I was just walking around work being like, do you have Netflix? Have you seen RRR?
You got Netflix? Hey, man, you got Netflix?
Hey, you got Netflix?
So, Celine says we should add Pushpa.
Okay, well, I mean, so you're saying highest grossing movie of last year. Well, we do,
they might enjoy it after getting a hang of Indian cinema more.
To admit to you guys, we do have 15 recommendations, and we do about one or two, one a week or every other week. So it might take a while to get to the one you're asking for. We haven't decided an order, really.
We can discuss that with every
we can make a list and put it out.
We got the professionals here. We got the experts around.
True.
So we should sort of present our list and see what how we should go about it and what we should watch and when, because we're not even that deep into Indian cinema yet, and
we're at the surface. We're
starting off with a bunch of the fun stuff. I don't even know.
Well, highest grossing too. Yeah. But anyway, my review of this. So you put an 8.7.
8.7, yeah.
And actually, ever since I watched it, I've had a solid number in my head.
Okay.
Discussion with you has pushed it a little higher.
Oh,
I was sitting at an 8.5. But but then you brought up the idea that, you know, they use words sparingly and like it's the visuals that tell the story and that's what makes it so memorable. But then when they do use words, it's really impactful. And this just reminded me how unique and special these films are compared to what we get sometimes. And it's it's just so refreshing to have just fun cinema like this. So I'm gonna bump it up a little bit, and I'm gonna sit with you at an 8.7, an 8.7 out of 10, and I'm very much excited to do the conclusion soon. So I'm gonna move this, guys, to the 8s category, the highest 8 we've had. That's good enough.
So, Arjun is saying that we should react to trailers of the films, and then do a discussion, and then do a movie review.
It's funny you mention that because you guys will have to let us know right now if you're interested. After this episode today, we were going to record a reaction to the behind-the-scenes footage of RRR because we are curious how it's all done. So later today, we might upload what I just said, a behind-the-scenes of RRR. So if you guys are interested in that, let us know.
Is this a favorite for you, by the way, Cody?
Yes. Is this a favorite for you? Oh
yeah, I would say it's a favorite.
Pushpa songs in its original too. Okay, definitely love the music. I think that
Cody's playlist. He's just gonna have an Indian playlist.
I swear. I mean, my favorite songs. Okay, what blew me away with RR was watching the music video for the main theme, and they actually Ram and Beam show up in the music video. It's like that never happens from the movie stuff. And the song called Nacho Nacho, which apparently in the original language Telugu is Natu Natu. That song is it lives rent free in my head. You know, I really want to learn the dance.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, even behind the scenes of Baahubali. Yeah, we could do a little. I think it'd be cool if with each episode of a movie we watch the behind the scenes. I think we both really love the technology and stuff, so that'd be really cool.
I'm surprised you found me on TikTok because we don't even promote that.
Yeah, I mean it's here. We do have it.
The video did do pretty well.
Trailer reactions.
People do want a part 2, so I got to put up a part 2 on TikTok for what happens to Ram. You know, does Ram get out of that protest? Obviously, we know he does. But
oh my God, that when he goes all Captain America and just starts beating everyone up. But yeah, trailer reactions. You guys seem to really want that, so
we could do trailer reactions. So I guess what is the best way to? I guess we could just look up trailers on Google, but I don't know really where to look. Do we need a VPN?
No. I mean YouTube is global, so we can find it. One of the best shocking episodes of Bahubali 1 is when Bahala Diva steals the prey from. Oh, yeah, that was. I mean, I saw it coming, to be honest, but yeah, it was really cool. I love how he was using the golden lion to hold his head up before the kill was taken. Do you guys interviews of our actors?
Watch interviews of actors?
Do we watch interviews? I did watch one, I believe, a couple days ago. But yeah,
I don't know if Cody. Yeah, I'm not watching anything in my free time in terms of stuff, but.
Yeah, but for
copyright strikes, we're trying to figure out a way around that because
other people do that.
We found a podcast that did a review of RRR, and they did not a live, but they reviewed the movie, with clips of the movie as they were watching it in not real time, but in that recording, and it was so confusing as to how they didn't get copyright striked because they were literally showing long clips of the movie overlaid on their video. But if it's a reaction, isn't that this is what we've been trying to figure out for the longest time, is because we want to show clips of the movie, and their video of RRR got 45,000 views and ours is sitting at 8,000, and I was like, I think that's the major difference because we're a lot more entertaining.
Well, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say we're better than anyone. I mean, people.
I'm saying we're better than those
but
people. That
I'm saying what I was thinking was what we can do is for you guys.
If you don't have to say it.
I don't know, but I was saying that for trailer stuff, you guys want to see trailer stuff and we can't show it. What we can do is film our reaction, and then in the middle of the screen have the video like kind of blurred with a timestamp running, so you can follow along with us. Might be the best way to do it.
There's got to be a way to do it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people do that, especially for anime stuff. That's what people do is you put the timestamp. So
we might even. Yeah. I don't even know if we have to reach out to like. I guess we're in a discussion phase right now. I'm not in the club. What do you mean I'm not in the club, man? Come on.
Not in the club. Not in the club.
How do I get in the club?
You got to bribe the algorithm or something.
You know what? We'll work really hard on our Indian fan base just so we can get in the club, and we'll reach out to the Indian producers and we'll get in the club. Yeah,
Celine, definitely. I think Ram so far is my favorite actor we have seen in these. Like, I love that character, and I like the guy who plays it.
You just love his mustache.
Yeah, not only his mustache. Okay, you can't be jealous. You can't be not jealous of that mustache. But also, I've looked at the actor, and he does a lot of other films. So I think I added one of his other films to our list. Someone mentioned one, and so we're definitely gonna be watching that.
I kind of like listening to it in.
Yeah,
in Hindu though, like I like listening or watching the movie in the native or one of the languages from there because it just feels more grounded for me. Like I think when I watch somebody speaking and it's like they're speaking in a different language and then it comes out in English, it just doesn't. It pulls me away from it. Like I'd rather sit there and watch and read subtitles versus listening to somebody in English. I'm also more engaged when I have to read subtitles too, so it just kind of works out in that way.
His voice is great, especially in the Nacho song. No, he's awesome, and that mustache, I need that mustache.
So who's gonna grow the better Ram mustache?
I guess it's a competition.
I got the hair, my hair's. I could style it like his.
True.
I actually really like. The outfits too, like the linen and stuff, like and the colors. I'd rock that if I could, if it's something that's culturally
the outfits were
appropriate to do. I'd rock that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but I still think we should at some point do a TikTok rendition.
Linen's a light,
We should do a TikTok rendition of the Nacho song and get suspenders and do the dance and learn it and do a cover. Because I see that's a thing, and I definitely want to. I think that would be really funny if we did that. And I'll do Ram's line, you do Beam's lines.
Do you just a weird out of the park question? Do you like?
Oh, it is okay.
Do you like Indian food, Cody?
I haven't had it in a long time. So, but I do. I love spices, so I am assuming like I'm not a picky eater. I'll eat anything, and like
we'll just have to go and do like a TikTok or something, or like something for Instagram where you go and eat some Indian food. There's a place over by me that's really good.
I think it would make more sense if like maybe there's a movie we watch and there's a very there's a like in the movie
what's an Indian
having a dish.
Chef movie? What's the equivalent of like the chef movie from here that has Jon Favreau in it? What's that but the Indian equivalent?
I would not know. I don't watch those kind of movies. So it's not sung. It's not sung by Ram. It's sung by a professional singer. I'm not surprised. Although I thought his voice matched up.
It did, yeah.
But yeah, it looked perfect. Even though it's not him
Indian
singing,
kitchen.
it was very, very convincing.
Cody, add that to the list.
The Great Indian Kitchen. Okay, adding it to the list. To the list it goes.
I love Indian food. It's great.
Special playback singers, unless the actors are singing too. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. Like I can't. I'm going to say it again. I probably said it 10 times already, but oh my God, the dancing and the singing in these two films, specifically for me, RRR, is stuck in my head, and it's so good. Let's add that to the list. The Great Indian Kitchen. Okay.
Anything else? Do you guys have any questions for us? I mean,
yeah. If you guys have any questions,
what's our time right now? We got
final thoughts. We're at.
Oh wow, we're actually over an hour.
That's cool.
We're enjoying ourselves here.
Yeah.
You guys, the way. Have any questions.
Yeah, let us know if you guys have anything you'd like to ask us. But yeah, I think in this movie in Bahubali, the dance that really was incredible was the one when Bahubali and Bala were infiltrating that place to find the traitor, and Bahubali distracted everyone when he bought everyone alcohol and did that big dance. That was really cool. And it blows me away, especially with RRR. It's like they only had 3 years to do the movie. I can't even imagine how long Nacho or Natu took to learn. I couldn't tell if it was like CGI faced. I think they were doing it. And add Pramam to your list. It's a wonderful movie. Also watch Malaire. Okay, we're adding these to the list. I promise you we'll get to them. Whether it be next week or... There's a lot on the list, so... do you think the action in Bahubali 1 way over the top or didn't? No, I think someone told us that this subgenre...
I needed more.
No, I think someone told us previously that you don't look at these movies with logic. You look at it as just a fun time, and I don't think it was over the top. I think, if anything, RRR was more over the top. This was more tamed, I think. But no, I loved the action. I think the combat was great, and also the parkour at the beginning. I think it was the perfect amount, personally. Oh, really? Did you notice that, Luca? I didn't notice that.
I didn't even know what he looked like, so...
Watch 3 movies in one day.
Now that I know what he looks like.
I wish.
Well, with the length of these films, it's kind of tough, because, like...
Well, I imagine they're not all this long.
I could definitely... The thing is if I watch all those, then I gotta remember three movies, and, like, these... We'd have to do a lot of podcasts in succession.
That's true. We like to talk about the detail. I think the detail is what we like to... it's the little things that make a movie for me. And there's a lot of... The little things the director or, the whole crew drops in that you might not notice if you weren't paying close attention. I love that stuff. So, yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. What do you say, Luca?
Yeah. So we'll I think it was Rumpel that said that we should do the trailers. We'll figure out how to do that without without copyright strikes or anything. And we will get ourselves organized. I think on Instagram, if you guys want to follow us on Instagram, any of the new people that are watching us,
yes.
I think what we should do is we'll put out our list, and if you guys want to go on there, comment what you think we should watch in, like, what specific order, because if some movies are getting, like, a little bit too deep, maybe we need a little bit more time watching some other films to get used to it. We need to figure out the way that we should go about watching these movies, because it's a whole different area.
That's cool that he's in his own films. But yeah, you're definitely right. I think, if you guys want to see when we're going live in the future, or you just want to see the other content we do, like just the Instagram posts, and sometimes we do skits, that's on our Instagram, Into the Movieverse. You'll find us there. Hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. We're happy to have you. And if you haven't seen the RRR review, that's also on our YouTube. And there are chapters, so you can go right to the review, the discussion, the ratings if you like. And we want to announce what we're doing next? I'm assuming it's the conclusion?
Yeah. We're going to do Bahubali 2.
Yeah,
so.
And that could be soon. That could be really soon. So stay tuned. We can't do YouTube notifications on, like, when we're going live soon, just because of the way it is right now. But if you follow us on our Instagram, we will let you know. Yeah, hit the bell. But
bell. Click it.
If you want to know farther out, or just talk to us, if you guys want to have a discussion with us on a movie you're interested in, or want to, we're free to talk on our Instagram.
Yeah.
So hit us up there.
And also, I guess, do you want to talk about our Discord, or?
Well, we are. Yeah, we're putting it together, a community Discord, so that we can all talk and watch. Maybe we can do a movie night where we all watch a movie together over Discord. If you guys are interested in that.
We'll work out the time zones. If you're in India, like, we'll work it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It's not like 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. for you. Because what's the time?
It's almost 2 a.m. or it's just past 2 a.m. I think.
It's 3:16 a.m. there.
Yeah, so
for those tuning in at 3:16 a.m., thank you.
Yeah, thank you for giving us the time.
Your viewership means a lot to us. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Rumpel. Definitely, they're over the top, and I think someone said it perfectly previously. They said it was mystical, but on a level that's, like, comprehensible. Like, it's like it's over the top, but in a good way. That just kind of, the over the topness it what do you call it? It just shows the importance of something that's happening. It's not just over the top to be over the top. It kind of, adds something to what's going on. Yeah. But again, we'll probably have a Discord soon if you guys want to, hang out with us, talk movies, watch movies with us. We might do movie nights on there. So we'll be announcing that soon. I think once the community is big enough and a lot of people are interested, we'll have that all set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everybody that has commented, thank you so much.
Yes,
everybody
let's
that's here
see.
watching, that has not commented in the chat, thank you for watching and tuning in. We hope we did Bahubali justice with an 8.7.
8.7?
And we are looking forward to check out songs from Push Button. Okay, we will.
Definitely. So, Rumple, Selena, Rayala, let's see who else. Or June, thank you guys so much. And of course, Biffer, it's always great to see you. Hope you enjoyed this episode. So thank you everyone for tuning in and hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Have any more questions, want to talk about other movies, let us know in the comments and follow us on our Instagram for updates about when we're going live.
Yeah.
I think that's it. So thank you everyone so much. And we will see you soon with the conclusion of Bahubali.